Hello, welcome to the first episode of Millennial Starseed. I am your host, Andriana, and today we're going to discuss a very interesting topic. But before we begin, let me just talk a little bit about who I am. I am the founder of Conscious Alignment and co-founder of Team Light Cyprus. I am a life coach and a fitness instructor. I've studied journalism, digital marketing, and energy healing, and I combine both to share my gifts and activate people all around the globe. If you're interested to know more about who I am, if you don't know me already, I will share links in the description below, and this podcast will be shared on two channels, YouTube channels, on my main one, Conscious Alignment, and on Millennial Starseed. I've been receiving some downloads for a while now. I post them on my blog, Spiritual Warrior Secrets, or I talk about them on YouTube and on my other platforms. But I wanted to work on my self-expression and really dive deep into more detail without editing, without having to rewrite something, just something to be raw and authentic. So today I want to talk about nutrition, chemistry, and higher consciousness. You would say, okay, how is this related? About a year ago, when I was studying for my fitness instructor certification, I've been receiving these downloads about the body and the organs and how everything works and how energy works. And while I was studying the physical aspect of the body, I was receiving the spiritual activation of how the higher consciousness relates to the body and how it works. Basically, my higher selves were guiding me through another level of activation, and I shared a lot of information on my blogs about this, of how to clear the body, of how to clear energy blocks and thought forms, and about the nervous system. I got so obsessed in a good way with fitness and with losing the excess weight that I gained when I was going through this long period of dark night of the soul and release and healing. I had a lot of energy stored on my body, and I learned a lot by building this relationship with my body. And I wanted to share these things with you because I have this download from a year ago in my journal and it never made it out. So I think it's time for me to really start talking about these things and assisting others in this way as well, not only with sessions and fitness coaching or sharing stuff on social media. I want to be more hands-on service. So here's what we're doing today. How this started for me was I was struggling a lot with overthinking, and I was constantly having mind chatter that made me feel really exhausted, unfocused, and distracted all the time, and I couldn't make it stop. So I asked for assistance and for guidance from my higher selves, and this is what they guided me to. They said that nutrition plays a huge role in this and that everything is related. Many of us know about the physical changes. For example, we all know that food is energy, and when energy enters our body, it starts to fuel the body, etc., through the blood vessels, the arteries, the veins, the capillaries. The muscles need ATP, that is a chemical reaction between enzymes and stored glycogen, protein, and fats that is in the body to sustain movement. And basically, food influences the lungs, our breathing, our heart rate, the oxygen and blood exchange that happens there. The brain produces hormones, and these hormones affect our feelings and emotions and our breathing and all the functions of the body, because the brain controls the breathing, the digestion, the intestines. That is very important. I'm going to elaborate more on this a bit later on. The heart rate, the blood pressure, carrying information. Basically, the nervous system is very important, and food is affecting it directly with the hormones. It's linked to our overall health, not only the physical, but the energetic as well. There are energetic changes that come with food and with other things that we do. For example, the brain functions, are connected to sovereignty, the left and the right hemisphere of the brain, and the center of the brain that I shared on a previous YouTube video. This is related to our heart center, our fields, our grounding ability, our breathing, our sovereign flow, our presence within the body, how able we are to receive information from our higher selves, how receptive we are. And this all has to do with food. It plays a huge role. Knowing how foods make us feel on the inside, on our organs, our emotions, we become more aware and we gain more clarity on what changes we need to make. As you know, DNA is quantum, and everything that we do influences everything else, including our higher self connection, our fields, our sphere, and even our surroundings. In the intestines, in the gut, we store unprocessed emotions from our interactions, from our thought forms, from people who we interact with on a daily, and they stay there until we clear the body or we process it and basically transmute that energy. If we don't know how to do this, many entities find habitat there, and they live in our intestines and they multiply. And this is why we need proper food and proper movement to move that energy, to clear our body, because if we don't, the energy becomes stagnant and we start having discomfort, pain, and even many illnesses or diseases start from the intestines. So it's very important to energy check. It was at that time where my higher selves really were guiding me to start being more conscious of what I was eating, what I was putting into my body, my diet. I was introduced to intermittent fasting so that I can feel my body, see what is going on there. This is very important about us empaths. We get this over-empathic numbness and confusion of who feels what thoughts are ours, what emotions are ours, and everything gets mixed up. And there's too much going on in the body, physically and also etherically, and it's just a really confusing thing that we have going on there. So we can't really discern if we don't take the time to pause. As important as it is in fitness to have the right macronutrients, it's important to also have the micronutrients, the minerals that not many people are aware of. Sevan Bomar shared this information after me requesting this because I wanted to talk about this download, and I was missing some links about the metaphysical aspect of food and minerals. And he basically explained that minerals are connected with our projections and what we try to manifest in the physical. If we want to be more of service, we are giving and giving and giving, but this energy comes from what we eat, basically. And if we constantly give and give and give, we become empty and numb, and we empty our resources because of the minerals and the deposits that we have of those minerals in our body. How much are we putting in when we're giving out? There has to be a balance. And he also explained that what we do in this life is creating the next life. Basically, when we're creating or having an idea or something that we want to do, there has to be an equal input and output. When we have this idea or inspiration to do something, we're pulling from our deposits, we're pulling energy from there. So if we don't have the proper deposits, the proper energy built up within, then we don't give the 100% of what we want to do. So we have to make sure that we have enough good quality foods, minerals, vitamins, be of service, having a balanced consciousness. That's why it's important to work on ourselves. We are our mission, our life purpose. We can't give from an empty cup. We have to take care of our body, of our mentality, of our spirituality. And as we give, we must also take time to rebuild, to sustain who we are, and to really be able to discern in our journey and see what we're doing with our thoughts, our sovereignty, our boundaries, what we watch, what we listen to have balanced principles, even with food, not to be very strict to the point of orthorexia or distortions. On the other hand, though, we are free to do that if we are going to learn through that experience, because I've also been through the extremes to learn about things. I was very strict vegan, and it took me a while. It's a long journey. I have so many things to share with you and really share my story, because I've never really talked about my story and how it started and about my journey. But yeah, we don't have to go on the extremes. We can if we want to learn something through that, but it takes time. And you don't have to go through that, because I went through it, and I can share through what I've learned so that other people can accelerate their journey without having to go through the same journey. And Sevan said that this is also related to our abundance, our flow. Because if our body doesn't function properly, our energy doesn't flow. So our abundance gets stagnant, because in our body we have stagnance. To have abundance, to have energy, to have a clear body, we need to take responsibility for ourselves and start fueling this engine the right way. My higher self said that we have blockages, and especially in our intestines, and it's connected to cellulite as well. They explained that cellulite is related to entities in the gut, and there is blocked energy that has roots throughout the body. So entities are inhabiting their lower body area, the lower chakras. Not as much the upper centers, because they're higher in frequency. We must do an energy check often, and to see what's going on, how we feel, and to push the energy out, to push from the left side to the center. And I have a blog post about it on Spiritual War Secrets, again, where I explain how to do this and the specific mantras that they taught me how to do when I was doing energy clearing. We can also move the energy with foam rolling or massage it out, or with exercise and stretching and yoga, but especially nutrition is very important, and movement, because this provides a higher frequency to the body, and it's helping it build a momentum to kickstart the engine again, and to do the necessary adjustments to work properly and assist the whole avatar with better habits, thoughts, choices, actions, and basically lifestyle changes that are helping the ascension journey and everything else, the higher timelines and the consciousness and the DNA activation and all that. So what they said about the entities, because I was very interested in that. I don't really like having entities, but it seems that we all have that until we become aware of it and start working with our bodies to build a connection with the body and see when something doesn't feel right. So I guess it's the journey. And they shared that most of the entities, they live in the gut, but they access the body through our hips, especially the sides and the lower back or the lower chakra areas. And we can also sense them with pains or discomfort or tight muscles, even on our thighs and our buttocks, our legs especially. And they're influencing our grounding ability. It feels heavy, and really we feel tired all the time. They're disrupting the energy flow of the body and our momentum, our movement. So when we are accessed or hugged by those beings, energetically they can feed from our energy, causing body issues that start from the mind, the crown, the brain. Basically, that's why everything affects the brain. Everything starts from the crown. And that's why I shared previously on my blogs and social media about the importance of sovereignty in the center of the brain and taking back control of the crown, by taking back our energy from the right and left hemisphere of the brain. Everything influences our thinking, so that is why it's so important to take our power back and focus on our sovereignty and become more self-aware, to do self-observation and deprogramming, and to find our own way on activating on our own processing and gifts and information that we can receive from our DNA. Once I got clear and I felt the difference of my empathic abilities, feeling a release, feeling that there was space for creation and interaction with the higher self, they told me that there was too much going on. I should choose easy digestible foods to help me not only process information, but to maintain balance and to maintain this level of coherence. Because if there is no coherence, there is no communication. Everything gets filtered out because there is too much going on in the body. Think about it like you have too many things going on etherically, not only with the planets, with the energies coming in, with the Schumann resonance, with everything else external, the collective energies. If you're an empath and you feel everything around you, imagine that plus what's going on in your body, in your organs, that there's too much activity going on. It's a lot. We all have different gifts and ways of processing, so I'm not saying everybody is the same, but this is where my gifts start to come alive, through fitness and spirituality combined. I don't know how to describe this, but it feels awesome. It's like I love doing this. I love finding out about this, and it became a passion of mine to see how I can improve things, and everything led me to the point that I am now. So the whole download was about keeping my body clear so that I can know when something is changing, because it's related to our grounding ability and our security and how open we can be and grounded we can be in the body, so that we can have heart coherence and open up our fields and feel things and open up our DNA. DNA is not only in our body, in our blood. It's not only the stored information that we have within the body. We are connected to everything else, the generations, the ancestors, the bloodlines, the planetary changes. Everything is connected, everything is one. So everything is affecting that, and we can have access to past, present, and future timelines if we become clear and purify the vessel, so that we can really get to know who we truly are as humans and what capabilities we have with these engines, the bodies that we have. The inner we go, the more we learn. The more we learn, the better we understand what external distractions and energies and thought forms and information does, and how it influences the chemistry of our bodies and the right and left hemisphere of the brain. We can improve our nutrition and improve our organs and have a better connection and function with it. We are the physical representation of the future now. We are installing basically a new reality that a place like Earth deserves, by realizing that we have the power to rewrite within our body, with our choices and actions, the whole program. We are doing this through our bodies. We are embodying this. We are our life purpose. To know how to heal the inner helps with the outer too, because integration brings clarity and self-awareness, and all is self. So we must reflect in co-creation of the balanced state. The fascinating thing here is that knowing that our bodies have these healing abilities, if we work with our bodies and not against it, we can really see huge results, and actually very fast, if we make this right. If we maintain this balance, and if we really realize how we're treating our body and what habits we have, what mentality and what programs we're running, or what loops we're running. People can have different opinions and different perspectives, and they're free to do that and choose whatever they want to. What we can do is to really take responsibility for what we do in our lives and use this the right way if we are if we want to assist and co-create the new in the present moment. So our focus shouldn't be on impressing others, but on co-creating the present so that we and future generations can walk in integrity and oneness. And oneness is a very vast topic, and I have a memory of how we used to be when Earth was fifth dimensional. We used to be all connected and all knowing in this grid. It was like we didn't need a phone. We were all connected and all knowing, and we could travel anywhere with our minds, and we could have instant access anywhere on the planet before the fall, before everything happened, before Earth became three-dimensional. And it's just a memory that I have deep within me, and I know that we're heading there. That's why we're doing the job now. That's why we're assisting in all the ways that we can. And everybody holds different keys to this puzzle. So it's important to come together and share what we know. Even though we have doubts, and we have to push beyond our comfort zones and share what we know. We're all needed in this journey. There is a unified field that we're all connected to. We are the unfolding embodiment of the next generation. So it's important to realize what we came here to do and who we came here to be, not just waste time and loop in programs and scenarios. I'm not perfect in what I do, but I never give up. This is the fourth time that I'm trying to record this podcast because I'm still learning myself. It's the first time that I'm doing this. So every time I record this, I add things. And I'm more focused and more guided to the correct information. Maybe I forget something in my previous recording, but I make sure that I do it now because I'm more focused and more centered in what I'm doing. So I make videos, blog posts, I share things, I do sessions, I help people with fitness and spirituality and all these things, and also work on my own mental clarity and expression. And I want to do this to reflect upon where I am in my journey, where I stand in relation to my reality, to overcome my own limitations, to challenge myself as I claim back my sovereignty and power by inspiring others and inspiring change. You know, etheric processing starts through the body, the physical body, and it's a form of communication with the higher selves. I'll put a link in the description about it if you want to check it out. And guys, it's time to put the crown back on our head. We are kings and queens from where we come from, and it's time to put the hands behind the wheel again. We are royalty, and we have to remember that. We're more than our story, more than our generation, more than any construct and program and anything that is trying to lean upon us. Let's just remember who we are and really start taking action for a better future, for a better present. Let's take care of ourselves and our loved ones and everybody else. It's time to unite and start working together. There is a rhythm in everything. Let us remember how to tune in. Let's reverse gravity from the body up and shoot to the skies and call home, Let's bring the change faster here. It takes quite a while to materialize in the physical, but we're doing it, guys. We're doing it. And it's important to be connected, to come together. So if you feel the need to reach out to me, to book a session with me, if you need guidance with fitness or with nutrition or even for life coaching, if you feel that you want to contact me, feel free. I'm here for you, and I would love to get to know you and be of service to you and to the planet. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. That's why we're all here. Let's remove our shyness and get to know each other. It feels like my soul craves this type of connection with you guys. Find my soul family. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you in my next episode of Millennial Starseed.
What do spirits say?